The prep basketball scene is pushing the limits on this edition of the Sports Desk. The Torrance boys team visits North, and talk about a game for the fans. It goes to the last bucket in this one. And the West Warriors aren't on their last frontier. No, the boys and the girls team are ready for the postseason, and the boys team learns and the girls team burns in a game against Lusinger. The South boys soccer team looks to take the Pioneer League crown, but will Lawndale be another victim? We're going to go ahead and break down all the postseason chances for the B-ball teams. Stick around, we got a lot coming up. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I hope none of your teams are breaking your heart during this Valentine's week. We've got a lot to get to, so let's get started. North and Torrance had a doubleheader, bringing the fans a lot to cheer for on both sides. The North boys basketball team is already the standing Pioneer League champion as they enter this game against Torrance, and the Tartars want to win the last game of the regular season to secure a playoff spot. There are a few surprises in this game. David Gascon shoots us boys game first.
All right, I'm back for the nightcap as Torrance is looking to complete the sweep with the boys team. The Tartars come into this contest without playoff aspirations in their sights, but that doesn't mean they don't have anything to play for. Corey Catani starts things off with a three-pointer, but the Saxons come right back as they counter with their great defense. Kenny Flippin here in transition feeds the ball down low. The ball's kicked out to Eddie Lee, who knocks down a three-pointer and ties the game up at 6. Up 4 points in the second quarter, the Tars could thank their big men for keeping things close. They had excellent perimeter ball movement here, but they eventually found Jimmy Carley down low in the block, fending off 2 Saxons. He got hacked, knocked down the free throw, and the Tars were up 6. The first half was an absolute dogfight. Every time Torrance went on a run, North would counter. Jordan Shum hit some big shots, including this deep three that put North up 40-38. But just before half, Shane Smith would tie things up. And at halftime, we had nothing settled. We fast forward to the fourth quarter action, and with the Tartars looking to end their season on a high note, Corey Catani buries another three-pointer to put his club up 63-61. But that was the last lead the Tartars would have this season. That's when Kenny Lee went right back to work. Lee, who finished the night with 17 points, hits this dagger three to put the Saxons up by 1 with just over a minute to play and North looking to close things out. Eddie Lee says, "I got this." Now you're done. He puts the Tars in a hole as they trail now by 4 points. Not surprisingly, the Tars wouldn't go away. After 2 clutch free throws by Shane Smith, he leads this transition break as Bryce Tadakoro ties things up with 15 seconds left to play. So after a timeout and with the shot clock off, North drew up a play and took us home. JT Heath with this putback shot wins the game for the Saxons. He was 0 for 6 prior to that shot, finishing with only 2 points on the night as the Saxons won this game in a thriller 69-67. It was another tragic loss for the Tartars. But for North, their storybook season continues as they capped off the regular season, finishing 9-1 in Pioneer League play as the champs and 20-5 overall. We got a chance to spend a couple minutes with the champions to get their take on what they thought about the game.
We have short-term goals that we started when we went camping, and we have long-term goals. A short-term goal was to win the league. Next goal is to win CIF. Goal after that is to win state. We tried our best to go to the top.
It was probably a shot, but once we get the shot, we feed off of that. So once we get that shot, we just keep going. That's all it is. Okay. There's no particular player. We play as a team. That's our motto.
Thanks, guys, for giving us those interviews. The Saxons were led by guard Eddie Lee, scoring 17 points, and Ken Flippin was on that night, showing up big for his team, posting 11 points, 8 boards, and 3 steals. For Torrance, Shane Smith, Jimmy Carley, and Austin Mitsunaga should be able to keep the momentum going into the first round of the playoffs. Let's go back to North to check out the results of the North versus Torrance girls game.
It was senior night for the Lady Saxons as they were looking to capture a playoff berth by knocking off their crosstown rivals from Torrance. But the Lady Tartars behind Faith Matsuda had better ideas. She was hitting some deep range threes, including this 28-foot bank shot to get the Lady Tartars off and running early. The Saxons really had no answers for the deep range sharpshooters of Torrance or their inside game. They trailed throughout the entire first half. Patricia McDougall tries to do her best to keep the game close as this beautiful finesse layup brings the Saxons within 4. But Kristen Mejia wanted to get on the act as well. She hit this deep range 3, and then she takes the ball coast to coast and says, "Get out of my way, I'm pushing this lead to 8," as the Lady Tars never looked back. But even on defensive lapses like this one, where Lisa Nishi knocks down a big 3, Faith Matsuda says, "I see your 3, and I'll raise your 3. Bang! As she extends the Lady Tartars lead to 12 at halftime. On the verge of capturing a share of the Pioneer League title, the Tartars kept their foot right on the gas. Matsuda finished the evening with 13 points, 4 3-pointers, and Iono 16 points, 14 rebounds, 2 block shots, and 1 steal, as the lead eventually ballooned to 20 before they closed it out, winning by 13.
It feels great. We slowly were building up throughout the whole season, and I was out throughout the beginning of it, but then I knew that I needed to come back and help my team, and just like so we could be a team together again. But as we built up, we were able to get back into our normal team and be able to be a strong team again.
Well, you know, basketball is a team game, and we just have to, our bench has to step up, and we just have to keep on encouraging the others to step up and everything like that. Yeah.
Thanks to Jessica Fujisubu and Ihana Iono for your interviews. The Lady Tartars beat North by 13, and Iono went back-to-back, and she went to In-N-Out for a double-double. And aside of 2 blocked shots, I wonder how she orders it. Faith Matsuda brought 13 points to her team. 12 of those 13 were from 4 3-pointers. The list of sharpshooters continue for Torrance. Kristen Mejia, Kayla Yonemoto, and Jessica Fujisobo just kept it raining for the Lady Saxons. North's got its fair share of talent that's looking forward to the playoffs. Clarissa McAtougal and Alyssa Nishi added 10 points, and Patricia McAtougal dropped in 8 for the Lady Saxons. Now let's go ahead and turn our attention to the Bay League. The West basketball program has struggled to keep ahead in their Bay League opponents the last couple years, but this year the tide is changing, and the boys and girls teams are doing more than just winning. They are changing the culture of West basketball. Let's take a look as Isis Roberts brings us both games as they play against Lusinger.
It's senior night as well for the boys as West celebrates a big class of 9 Warriors. The West crowd shows up pumped and ready to cheer on their second-place Warriors and the Bay League showdown against the first-place Lusinger Olympians. The Warriors feed off the crowd early as senior Brandon Yamada drives coast to coast to the basket with this nice layup. Warriors down 8-9. Just a few minutes later, Yamada strikes again with this more impressive layup as he spins away from the defender and finishes with an up and under layup. But Lusinger leads after the first quarter, 19-10. West just starts to fall apart in the second quarter with silly turnovers. The Warriors just did not get into a rhythm on offense. Lusinger's great defensive plays quickly turn into easy points. This still leads to a quick transition as the Olympians share the ball to get an easy 3 points. Lusinger goes up 24-12. The 3 parties will continue as Lusinger's junior guard Eric Childress hits this shot from downtown. The Olympians hit 5 threes to go into the half with a 29-16 lead.
Give credit to their defense. Their defense is great. They're athletic, they're long, and they're really scrappy. I felt like they got a lot of loose balls, and we're just tracking down rebounds. They just had more intensity, played with more energy than we did, and I think we needed to play with a bigger sense of urgency in that first half. So we got off to a slow start.
The slow start continues into the second half for West. Childress knocks down another 3 to give Lusinger its largest lead of the night of 20 points. The Olympians would end the third quarter with a 45-25 lead over West. So the game's pretty much over, right? Wrong. The Warriors must have drank some Space Jam water before the start of the fourth quarter because they came out revamped. Junior guard Stephen Inoue leads the comeback as he drives to the basket with this nice take to bring the Lusinger lead down to 10. West goes on a 14-2 run as Inoue hits this clutch three with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the fourth to get the Warriors within 8 points.
I was just scared that they were getting away, so I had to kind of shoot more, and hopefully we came back, and we did, but it wasn't enough to win the game.
Unfortunately for West, it was too little, too late. Lusinger would keep the lead in the end and win the Bay League title to beat the Warriors 61-48, despite the near comeback led by Inoue.
Proud that we didn't give up and showed pride.
One of the things that I love about this team, they just have no quit. They're resilient, they bounce back, they play all 4 quarters, and we may not execute all 4 quarters, but the energy, the effort, the guys want it. They're really hustling, they're trying.
So the Olympians capture the Bay League title, giving West their first home loss of the season on senior night. West will head to Peninsula next in the battle for second place. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Isis Roberts.
All right, thanks, Isis. Before we get to the girls' game, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the West boys who might have been league champs, but Lusinger was in their way undefeated. And I know Coach Paul Nataki's taken advantage watching tape and tweaking his players and rotations for the CIF. And Stefan Inouye dished up 12 points, and Brendan Yamada had 9 points for the Warriors. Let's go back to Isis, where she's going to tell us all about the West girls matchup.
Thanks, Bonnie. Now, tonight's game between West and Lusinger is something special. It's the last home game of the season here at West, so you know what that means. It's senior night. The Warriors honored 4 seniors during a special ceremony before the game started. Shari Harada, Aaron Olsen, and Chantaline Trudeu all played key roles for the Warriors this season, but guard Nicole Nataki celebrated senior night like a rock star. Nataki starts the game off on fire. Here she gets the ball from Kristen Kahim, uses the screen and drains it right in the face of the Lusinger defender. Warriors up 6-2. Later in the first, Nataki does a nice spin move, penetrates, then kisses it off the glass. Oh, the senior knows how to dish the ball too. Here she finds a cutting Justine Yamasharo for the score. Nataki would finish with 15 points in the first, along with that nice assist.
Well, it really helped that everyone was pushing the ball, so we were getting easy buckets, and the 15 just came.
And it came easy. Nataki leads West to a 19-6 lead at the end of the first. In the second, the Warriors' defense continues to shut down the Olympians. West forces the turnover. Nataki ends up with the ball, finds Yumashiro, who does a nice no-look pass to the freshman Kylie Fujioka. West up 30-7. The Olympians do end the first half on a good note. Number 24 hits this 3 at the buzzer with a second left. West go into the half with a 42-16 lead. Well, let's get back to the senior party. The strong center Trudeo gets the ball in the post and goes to work. Trudeo finishes with 9 points. The offense was just working for West. Nataki finds her senior classmate Olsen, who finds Fujiyoka for the score. Olsen finishes with 7 assists. Then senior Harada finds Fujiyoka for this easy score. Assistant head coach Lindsay Nataki just loved the Warriors' ball movement.
Yeah, in practice we really try to emphasize on hitting all of the options so that it becomes more muscle memory than the girls having to think about it. And tonight they really executed really well. Everybody individually did great.
Especially Coach Lindsay's little sister Nicole. She hooks up with Trudeo for the nicely executed pick and roll. Trudeo gets a basket and the foul to make it 75-32. The Warriors just run away with it as Nataki finishes with 28 points, 6 steals, and 3 rebounds to lead West to a victory over Lusinger.
Oh, it was like a blast. The way we just came in and felt the signs and all the energy, we really felt it, and it was something really special because we know this will be our last league home game, and we've been waiting all 4 years for this one game. It was great to get a win.
It's kind of sad, but it was really fun. It was good to go out on the top.
Thanks to Isis Roberts for that report. What a game the Lady Warriors had against Lusinger. That win over the Olympians was brought to you by Nicole Nataki. She posted 28 points, which included 6 3-pointers, and oh yeah, she also had 6 steals. While Nicole led the assault, Chantaline Trudeau, Kyle Fujioka, and Sydney Chase all contributed to a great showing for the Lady Warriors. I have a feeling they're just about getting hot right now. And that's all the coverage we have of last week's game.